Thank you for tuning into our seller interview series. Up today, we've got an Amazon affiliate site for sale in the transportation niche. Created in August 2014, this business makes $4,129 per month in net profit, and the listing number for this site is 40594. Now, we do these interviews to give potential buyers more information about both the seller and the sites they're looking to purchase. We hope these insights are helpful for you in making a buying decision. Now, we've got the seller with us today to go through the business and cover everything from niche selection to traffic and monetization. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, glad to be here.
Yeah. So just to give a quick summary before we dive into questions here, Jim, the quick summary, the site was obviously built August 2014, as I mentioned, as a monthly revenue of $4,129, zero expenses, so also the net profit, and that's over a 3-month average. So, Jim, can you tell us a little bit about your background in building and running online businesses? Is this kind of your first one, or have you been around the industry for a while?
Well, I'm young. I'm only 31 years old. So when I say I've been around, it's not like that long. But I started when I was in law school. I started my first blog about photography, and it just really took off. I was really blessed to see the progress that it made. And by the time I graduated law school, it had really taken off. And so I do that full time. That's my main business. And then I started building other niche sites to earn extra passive income, since my main site is more of an active business. And so this is one of those sites that I've built. This one kind of came out of passion because I really like the topic, and it's really fun. I've bought 3 websites from Empire Flippers before, and I never thought I would be a seller, but this one I think is a good time to sell.
Nice. You get to experience the full process from both sides of the table.
I know, yeah.
Cool. How exciting. You mentioned that this is a passion. Now, for people that aren't familiar with Amazon affiliate, or maybe even with online business in general, maybe they're starting off just getting involved. Could you describe very briefly how a website like this one makes money?
This website makes money exclusively from Amazon Associates. Amazon Associates is a free program that you sign up for, and basically they give you commission for referring traffic to them that purchases. So for example, I could link somebody over to an anchor, to a review of an anchor, and they click on it. They either buy the anchor and I get 8% of the anchor price, or they get distracted and they go buy a vacuum cleaner. Well, I still get 8% of the vacuum cleaner. It's not 8% in every category. Electronics are between 2 and 4%, but most categories are 8.5% commission, and it's just awesome. So you're getting paid extremely passively, and that check just kind of rolls in for sending traffic to Amazon.
Yeah, it's a great program. I actually have had a few Amazon affiliate sites myself. I used to have this one that's about Dungeons and Dragons books, because I'm a huge nerd. And what's funny is I hardly ever sold a D&D book, but they click the link and they go buy computer parts, so it was even better. Like, yes.
There you go.
Amazon is always interesting to see what people are buying that's not related to your site. So as far as reasons for why you're selling, why are you selling a business? You mentioned it's fairly passive. It's something you enjoy talking about. Why not keep it and grow it?
Yeah, I never imagined selling a website. Like I said, I bought 3 websites from Empire Flippers, and I'm always kind of the mentality like, you've got to be crazy to sell one of these, because if it's doing well, you might as well just keep it and then double your money, 27 months from now. But this one I think makes sense for me specifically because, one, I just sold my boat a few months ago, and so it's just not my passion anymore. Not that the business that you're in has to be a passion, but I have enough of a network of other sites that I just know myself I'm not going to work on it unless I just happen to be into it at that time. I'm kind of flighty like that, I guess. So that's one reason. And the second reason is every website that I have relies heavily on Amazon Associates. It's my favorite way to monetize a website. And because of that, I feel like I should probably diversify my personal portfolio. I earn $0 a month from Google Ads. I earn almost nothing from like Commission Junction and ClickBank and other things. It's like I rely a lot on Amazon Associates. And so I think for me, I should probably try to diversify my portfolio a little bit. And so there's a good chance I'm going to sell this and buy another site from Empire Flippers or pay somebody to build a site that's monetized in a different way. So I think those are the 2 reasons that it makes sense for me to sell.
That's a very smart reason. Diversifying your portfolio is huge. Obviously, you already have the integral skills to build up a site from scratch. You're good at buying businesses. As you mentioned, there's one that's doing really well for you. So I think diversifying your portfolio, that's a great reason to sell, get that capital to reinvest back into a different monetization strategy because you already got the Amazon thing on lockdown, right? So
Yeah, I hope that's true. I hope 6 months from now I don't say, why didn't I just hold that thing?
So moving into the site history, what was the trajectory of this business for the first few weeks and months? Did you find it was pretty simple to get customers rolling in, or did it take a while?
Well, it took time. I'm maybe a little bit too crazy about only building a website organic. I could probably ease up on that and probably still be okay, but I'm relentless about zero link building on any of my websites. I do absolutely nothing to build links,
Really?
which means it's going to take time for the website to get noticed and trusted by Google. But I just feel like, I'm playing the long game. I don't need a quick win. I want to play long, solid, reliable websites, and I can be patient. I can make a website, wait for it to get links and get trusted, and then when everybody else flips out in the industry about, Google did this or that, I can sleep peaceful at night. I've never once had any blip with Google because I just play the straight game.
That's a very good way to play it. So this is a question kind of off my formula here, just out of curiosity. How do you promote the site at all? Or do you just basically write content and literally let it sit and rank itself?
Yeah, I really just write content. I know a lot of people say that, but it really is true. I've written articles and they're just there. This has no Facebook page, no Pinterest page, no Twitter page, no YouTube page. I do that with my active business, my photography website, and I've just learned how much of a time suck that can be, that as soon as you get into that social media stuff, this is going to turn into an active full-time job. And so with my niche sites, I'm pretty relentless about no link building. Don't even worry about social media. Just write good content, let it sit there, and it's going to grow.
So I'm assuming that you must focus very heavily on keyword research and on-site SEO.
Yeah, I do. Can I give a cool tip on that? Actually,
this is I would love to hear it, actually. So.
It's total money. I've been doing this for years. I've owned lots of products like the Longtail Pro and what was the one before that? The Keyword
Market
Samurai? Yeah, Market Samurai. I've had all those, tried it, and they're fine. But if I'm honest, I haven't opened one of those programs in 2 years because of this one cool trick. So I will just type, I guess I'm not supposed to say this specific niche. We'll say it's boating. I'm just going to type in Google, boating, and then a space, and then the letter A. And then when I do that, it pops up the Google suggested search, and it says boating accident Boise, boating accessories. And I say, oh, cool. I'm going to write an article called 21 Best Boating Accessories. It's giving me right there. The reason that Google is putting in those search suggestions is a lot of people are, if you type boating, it thinks a lot of people are going to type in accessories. So then I'll type boating space B and I get boating buoys. And I say, aha, buoys. I'm going to write a review of the best buoys for your boat. I just go through the alphabet like that. And you just get, it's Google is giving you the biggest searches in your niche. And you don't need to pay anybody for special software or anything. That's like the only thing I do for keyword research.
Wow, so you're not analyzing competition or anything along those lines? You're just going down the list with the Google suggest?
Yeah, if Google is suggesting it, a lot of people are searching it. That's how I feel about it. It may not be the smartest way. I'm sure there are guys that have big Excel documents that are probably doing better than me, but it's just always worked for me to do that, and so I don't mess with it.
I think that is a beautiful example of keep it simple. There's so many SEO people that are just going crazy with like PBNs, 401 redirects, ghosting, cloaking, all this crazy stuff, and here you are having a site that's very successful without any of that. You probably saved a ton of time.
I can't promise that it's the fastest way or even the best way to build a website, but it at least works for me.
Very cool, man. So moving on here, I'm assuming there must be some stuff that you learned from this business that just absolutely worked. Could you name one of those? Would it be the Google Suggest thing, or is there something specifically about this site that you learned that you might apply to future businesses?
I guess two things that this website taught me. One is the type of product that you recommend. I've been looking a lot at the specific, products that people buy, because when you're on Amazon Associates, Amazon will give you a list every day of exactly what items people purchased and what your commission was for each item. And so one mistake that I was making before this website is I would just recommend too many products in the $20, $50 range. And it just takes too long for that to add up. I would look at my statistics and I sold, 75 items that only cost $20. And, I'm only getting like 80 cents on each item as my commission. And then I write this one article on products in the $200 range, and it's making up like 40% of everything that I'm earning from that one article, So I saw that early on in creating this website. And so I started writing more articles that are, reviewing or recommending products in that, $150 to $300 range, I feel is like a real sweet spot. If you go super expensive, $1,000 product, it's a sweet commission when you get it, but most people aren't going to spend $1,000 today because they read your review. They're going to see it. They're going to put it in their wish list. They're going to think about it for a week, and then they're going to buy it. Well, it's too late. You don't get a commission for something they buy a week from now. You get a commission for something they buy in the next 24 hours. And I find that $150 to $300 range is good because it's big enough that it gets you a good commission, but it's not so big that it takes them, it's something that a lot of people can read it and say, okay, I'm going to buy it today. And then you get a good commission. So I think that was a big one for me, is kind of learning what price point is the most valuable product to recommend.
I think that's a great lesson. I mean, I know a common Amazon affiliate strategy is basically you'd have that low ticket item, like what you mentioned, $20, $40 are almost impulse buys, right? But then you do have the $150 to $300, which are still kind of impulse buys depending on what it is, especially if it's a passion hobby, kind of like what this site is about. And that the selling a lot of those low tier products allows you to get to that next Amazon affiliate tier. So as you're selling those $150, $300, even $1,000 plus items, you get a little bit sweeter commission on that.
Yeah, and I also find that the willingness of people to spend money is higher, a lot higher in this niche than I would have expected. Because when somebody recommends a $300 product to unplug your sink, I don't want to spend $300 on that. Even if I would have to pay a plumber $400, I still don't want to spend $300 on this. But when it's your boat, boaters love their boats, and you spent 30 grand on this boat, and so what's $200 on this accessory, So I found that the willingness of people to spend is pretty good in this niche.
Nice. So what have you tried that just didn't work?
Well, this is stupid tax that I'm paying for right now. So on the website, I installed a forum plugin quite a while ago. And just when I put this up for sale, I really log into this website, several months go by before I log in, kind of update plugins. But I'm noticing that the forum plugin that I put in there, you can ask a question, but I haven't given the right permissions for people to be able to answer those questions. So big stupid tax right there, because there are, like 70 questions that have been asked. So that's 70 pages of content that people tried to write for me, that somebody started the thread and I just have the settings wrong so nobody can go and reply. So that's a huge missed opportunity right now that we could be getting a lot more traffic if that forum plugin just fix the permissions on it so that people can answer the questions, because I'm not actively writing new content on this website, and that's a way that you can just get the internet to totally take care of that for you. As if you have a sweet forum and people are active on there, people are getting on here every day, and I paying stupid tax for not having noticed that and fixed it long ago. But I'm running a network of sites, and when I have a lot of sites and sites bigger than this, things slip by, and this is one that slipped by. So that's kind of an easy win for whoever takes this one over.
That's pretty cool. Form plugin. I've always thought that forms are good ideas on authority sites. I never thought about putting them on like an Amazon affiliate site, but it is true. That's free content that for you. If anything, just makes your site look thicker and more real and provide more value, right? So is the form plugin for free, or is that something you paid for?
Yeah, it's a free plugin. I can't remember what it's called here, but it's a free plugin. And the other cool thing is I have a plugin called Amazon Affiliate Link Globalizer, which basically takes when you purchase a product from Amazon. So I just grab the regular link from Amazon and put it in my posts, and then this plugin will automatically add my affiliate code to that link so I can get in credit for it. But I don't have to spend the time to go, get my affiliate link every time. So it does that, but it also redirects people. So if somebody in Canada wants to purchase this product, it's going to redirect you to the Amazon.ca of that product. Now, this is another big missed opportunity for this website, and a major quick win for whoever takes this over is when I set this up, I just used a affiliate ID that I had for one of my other businesses because I didn't want to take 20 minutes to set up an affiliate ID for Amazon CA and UK, etc., all the other countries. And so the earnings that are posted and everything that we're going on is only the earnings from Amazon, the US Amazon site. The plugin's in there. All you've got to do is slip in your affiliate ID for the other countries, and you're going to get another boost right there. Again, it's just something that I missed when I was building this. I should have been more diligent.
Yeah, that is a great quick win because a plugin like that, of course, it depends on the site and where the traffic is coming from, right? But it can oftentimes easily add a couple $100s to the profit that you're earning a month, and it's fairly easy to do. So that's good for whoever is the prospective buyer coming in.
Yeah, and I don't think you have to do, the Amazon Namibia and stuff, but at least do Amazon.ca and Amazon.uk or .co.uk. At least the UK and Canada, you should definitely spend a minute and do. I'm kicking myself for not having done that so I can track it earlier.
So going to traffic and earnings, I'm assuming the majority of your traffic is coming from search, yeah? Or do you have stuff coming from referrals or direct, social, anything like that?
Yeah, a lot is coming from search. I kind of targeted the website to be that, but also it's getting a decent amount of traffic from forums, from, boating forums where people have said, oh, this guy answers this question and stuff. And 5,500 people a month from social. I have just really one article that I targeted toward social that's kind of recommending tips for boating with kids. And I made a nice big tall graphic and put the text in there. And the whole goal of that was for it to be shared on Pinterest. When you make those tall articles, they show up, or tall images, they show up better in Pinterest. And that did work. It's sending 5,500 a month to the website. And then about 5,000 a month from referral.
Very cool, man. That's cool that you have a bit of diversity going on there. To break down the earning types, I'm assuming is 100% Amazon affiliate. Now, are you mainly seeing just a couple pages are earning you the money, or is it kind of spread out throughout the entire site, selling multiple different items?
Yeah, very well spread out. My kind of theory when I'm making these websites is I write 1/3 of the articles that have no business purpose whatsoever. At least they can't earn money. There's no affiliate link on it. And my whole goal with those is just to make Google trust me. These are usually very tiny niche articles. This isn't an article on the website, but can a Ford F-150 tow 30-foot ski boat? Very specific topic, but nobody has ever written a blog post about that before. And so I write some of those articles, about 1/3 of the articles, on those tiny little niches, because I usually find those are the very first articles to rank on Google because there's no competition for it. It's never been answered before in a blog post. And I feel like that's engendering some trust with Google early on. So 1/3 is that. 1/3 is what I call the big hit articles. These are ones where I'm going to, they're a big list post to 42 things to this, it takes you a couple days to write. They're big, meaty 4,000 word kind of posts. And they'll usually have a lot of product links in there, but also some information. And then the last third is just kind of your meat articles, usually in the 2,000 word mark. And those will often be a product review of a specific product. So the links are pretty well spread out between 2/3 of the articles on the website. There are 2 articles that are performing at the top, but not overwhelmingly at the top, I wouldn't say.
Cool. And it sounds like you're very good with developing good content. So how much content is on the site? How much were you adding monthly when you were building this out more actively?
Okay, I wrote this website when I was obsessed with my boat 2 years ago. If I remember right, I wrote 32 basically within that first month, maybe the first 60 days or whatever. At that point, I, got working on my other websites, and I kind of think of niche sites as planting seeds because it is going to take time for Google to trust you. So often I'll build a niche site with 30 articles and I'll just sit it for a while and let Google start to trust me, and those articles will start to come up, and that's exactly what's happened.
Very
so
cool.
These same articles have been ranking for a year and a half now very well. I've added, I can't remember exactly, but we're talking 5 posts in the last 12 months, and some of those I paid my nephew $20 to write. So it's extraordinarily passive because it's just solid content, no messing with SEO, and they've just continued to rise, and we're still on a pretty dramatic upswing. I was looking at the listing on Empire Flippers today, and it shows me that cool graph of the things, and I thought, holy crap, it's really booming. I hadn't, I'd kind of tracked it, but when I saw it that way, wow, it's amazing how much those same articles are just now starting to really climb.
That's awesome, man. So would you say the earnings have been pretty stable over the last few months?
Yeah, excellent. May we earned 3,400, June 47, and July 4,100, and this month we seem on track to do that. I will say that it is a seasonal business. It's boating, right? Like it's going to be seasonal. That's a big thing that I would work on if I were taking over the website today. Is there are some things you can do that can really knock down a lot of that seasonality. Some of it's still going to be there. That's just it's a seasonal site. But I think you could knock down a lot of it by doing 3 things. First is write some articles on topics that are useful to boat owners in the off season. So you could write reviews of the best covers for your boats, where to find the best storage for your boats, a storage facility, how to winterize your boat, some pretty expensive tools that you can need to winterize your boat. So you can write articles that boat owners need, just not during the main season. They need it in the off season. And I think that could really reduce the seasonality for sure. But also remember, it's not the whole world that has a long cold winter. A lot of boaters are in, Arizona and Florida and California, and so it's not completely seasonal because it's not cold everywhere in the world during the December months.
Now, if you wanted to keep this website, what would be the least risky path that you would focus on to grow it?
Well, a couple of them I've mentioned. One is get that forum fixed yesterday. That's a huge people are trying to write free content for you, and that's got to be changed immediately. I would put Google Ads on the articles that don't have affiliate links. Google Ads don't earn as much as affiliate links for sure, but they do bring in some steady income. And their website has decent page views, so I think that's another place that you could get a quick win. And then, of course, adding the global analytics and writing articles about off-season boating topics to level out some of the seasonality.
Now, if you were incredibly risky, just threw caution to the wind, and you wanted to grow this website as quickly as possible, what would you do?
Man, if I wanted to blow this thing up, I would probably start working with some manufacturers of the boats. This is a specific type of boat that's being written about. And we get a lot of traffic from people that don't have this specific type of boat, but it's just boating in general, the article. But I think the reason that it's ranked so well is because it is about a specific niche, and so it's brought in a good core audience. So it's a very high dollar industry. These are expendings that people are buying. And it's very difficult for those manufacturers of those boats to get their marketing targeted specific to this audience. So I think you could really see some big wins by reaching out to the marketing departments of some of these boat manufacturers and say, hey, I got your captive audience in this specific niche, and buying an ad is only $1,000 a month. That's the kind of thing you could do to double the income in short order.
That's a great idea. It also helps the new owner diversify from Amazon affiliate. So that's great. As far as what do you think the biggest risk is? What is the biggest risk with this site that a buyer should be aware of?
Biggest risk, gosh, that's a tough one. Just because it is, I kind of build them boring so that they aren't super risky. But there are. risks with running any kind of online business. I've certainly been hammered in my active site by Facebook and things like that, but boy, I'm not trying to pretend like it's a perfect website or anything. It's just that I've made so many mistakes with my active website that I've tried to avoid them here by building something very boring, very straightforward. So I honestly can't think of any major risk other than just the, inherent risks of just doing online business.
That makes sense. Obviously, there's the risk of Google updates, stuff like that. But it sounds like from how you built the site, that seems like it's going to be a pretty minimal risk. But of course, when the majority of traffic is coming from one place, that's always an inherent risk, right? But like I said,
it sounds or Amazon like it's cancels its affiliate program or something.
Yeah, true. That's another one.
There are just risks to any online business. Amazon was actually the company that pioneered affiliate marketing online. Like they were the first big one to exist. And they seem to be showing signs of continuing to grow it. I get emails sometimes saying, we've increased your affiliate percentage in this category. But it's one of those things that some corporate nitwit in Washington could suddenly kill it, and you've got to change how it's monetized. So there are risks, but
it's only been around for 21 years. Who knows when it's going to go?
That's it, right? but it's always possible. It's online business, and there are risks.
Yeah, for sure. I absolutely agree. Now, as far as work, can you describe the amount and type of work you're doing on the site for maintenance? Are you doing anything on a weekly basis that buyers should be doing once they take over the site?
No, I'm logging in, I don't know, every 2 or 3 months and, updating the plugins that have an update and approving, 10 or 15 comments, and that's really it. I check the analytics on Amazon because I can check it, and with all my other sites, just to make sure that, nothing's wrong with the website. But I just really do nothing with it. Every few months, I'll check in.
Now, what skills or requirements would you suggest for a buyer to have, especially for someone who might not be familiar with the niche?
Yeah, that's a really good point. So I've bought websites that I'm very familiar with the niche, and I've bought websites that I have no knowledge of the niche. For example, I bought one from Empire Flippers about baseball, which everybody who knows me just got a belly laugh out of that one because I hate baseball. It's the worst sport. You watch it for like 3 hours and finally they hit the ball. The way to fix baseball is to scoot the pitcher back like 25 feet. We got to see some hits every once in a while. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, that was a rat hole. Anyway, yeah. Oh, I totally sidetracked myself. So I like to be passionate about the niche because I've been doing online business full time for the last, 6-7 years. And so as I go on, I find that it's more important to me that I love what I'm doing because money has come really well for me. And so I want to get more out of it than just a paycheck. I want it to be something fun. But that wasn't true for sure at the start. When I bought a website about baseball, I didn't care. I was just obsessed with refreshing Amazon, saying, woo, I made a paycheck while I was camping with my family last night, right? So I think for some people it matters, and some people it doesn't matter at all. Now, about writing content when you don't know anything about the is totally not something to be concerned about. At least for me, it hasn't been. What I'll do is I'll just go to Amazon.com and I'm just going to search, this type of boat. I'll just type in, let's say it's wakeboard boat, and I'll just type in wakeboarding on Amazon and I'll see what kind of products are in the $150 range. Now, I do know how to wakeboard, but not very well. So I'll just look at those products, and it has like 300 reviews of it. And so I don't have to go buy the product. I can just read 300 reviews, and you're going to start to see some trends. You're going to see people are saying, hey, the strap breaks if you use this certain type of boot, or, the paint scratches off after a little while, or I really like it because it's easy to get up, or whatever it is. And so when I write my posts, I'm honest with people, straight up with people. I don't say I bought this product, but you can just say, hey, this is what I think of it. A lot of users report that this is a problem with it, and just write. You're just kind of summarizing an hour's worth of research that you just did on Google. You're saving people a ton of time and including that in there, and then comparing it to other products that you have reviews of. So I have no problem buying websites in niches that I'm not super familiar with because the information is out there. Oftentimes as a blogger, your job is to summarize and to collate and to put it in a nice readable form for people.
Yeah, that makes sense. That is one of the big time savers when people ask, like, well, what kind of value are you actually giving to this person? Like, well, they don't have to troll through 150 to 300 reviews. It's like I
Exactly.
did, right? So I did it for them. Now,
Right. And you know what? If it's not good content, it's not going to rank because people are going to go spend 20 seconds on the page and they're going to bounce. And that's a signal to Google that the content isn't good. So when I see that people are spending 4 minutes reading a review, it means that, actually, it was really helpful what I did in summarizing that because people stayed on the page. It was worth their time.
yeah, absolutely. That's a good measurement to measure how good your content actually is. In terms of, wrapping this up here, would you be willing to commit to a non-compete? So something like after you sell this to a new buyer, you're not just going to go out there and create a new site in the exact same niche competing with them?
I got this question in the survey, and I'm a lawyer. I'm not practicing. I'm a full-time blogger. And so I'm always really hesitant about agreeing to this kind of thing because I do own a large network, a medium large network of websites, and I'm buying new sites on Empire Flippers. And so I don't want to commit to that because you never know what sites are going to come up, and I don't want to box myself in. If I do one of these every time I build a website, eventually I'm going to start running out of niches is kind of my worry. But I hope you can tell from this interview that I'm not out to get anybody. If I wanted to be in this niche, there's no way in heck I would sell this website because it's performing really well and I built it to last. So no, I wouldn't commit to it for those reasons. But I hope you can just believe me that I just have no interest in doing that. If I wanted to be here, I'd just keep the site.
Yeah, you certainly sound like a pretty straight up guy to me, Jim. So I would take you for your word. Of course, that's up to a buyer to make that decision themselves. In terms of how much support you're willing to offer a buyer, I know Amazon affiliate sites tend to be pretty simple to run, usually. There's always the caveat, right? How much support would you be willing to offer a buyer that does purchase this business from you?
I put on the survey that I was willing to do 2 1-hour-long calls. I really don't care. If you want to email me, I'm going to respond. I'm a nice guy. I want to help you out. I want it to be very successful for you. But because it is a straightforward site, I don't know how much hand-holding it's really going to take.
That makes sense. As far as, obviously the best case scenario for us is someone comes in, buys the business at list price. It's the best for you, best for Empire Flippers. But let's say someone came in and is like, hey, I want to do this 70% up front, 30% on closing, or some other kind of earn out deal. Would that be something you would be at all open to?
No, I decided not. I've bought several sites from Empire Flippers and all those. I paid all money up front and just be done. Because it's a simple site, I don't really want to be tagging along and getting payments later and being worried about collecting and all that. I would rather it's a simple site, pay me, it's totally yours, and we move on.
Excellent. Now, before I ask you the last question here, I just want to give a quick summary here for our listeners out there. So this website was built in August 2014. The monthly revenue is $4,129. That's over a 3-month average. There's 0 expenses, so that's also the net profit. The site also includes, obviously, the domain and all the content on the site. So, Jim, tell me, what is your best pitch in 30 seconds or less on why someone should purchase this business?
I think there are 3 reasons that this is a good purchase. The first is it is a red hot niche. I have built other niche sites that were successful, but they took a lot more work to get to this amount of revenue. As when I bought my boat, I was Googling things, trying to find things in this niche, and it was just like incredibly frustrating to even find answers about this stuff. There just wasn't great content in a specific niche of boating. And so I think it's a red hot niche, and I think I've proven that with the numbers here and how it's ranked so incredibly well with really only 35 articles. And that also brings up the second reason is there are some big missed opportunities here. Writing articles about things that are winter and storage specific can level out the revenue because it is a seasonal website. You are going to see a dip during the winter, but you can see all those numbers on the Google Analytics and stuff. But also you have huge missed opportunities with not having the forum fix where people are trying to write free content for you. Putting Google Ads on the info posts and adding those global Amazon associates is something that's going to start earning you money like the first day that you do it. So I think it's a red hot niche. There are some big missed opportunities. And the last reason is it's a pretty darn fun site to work on. When you get to work on a website that's about a hobby, it's like toys for boys kind of website. It just makes doing the work a lot more enjoyable for me.
Yeah, those are all fantastic reasons. So for those out there watching this on YouTube or somewhere else outside of our marketplace, if you want more information about this business specifically, you can click the link below this video, take you to the marketplace listing. But if you're watching this on the actual listing and you want more information about what this business is about, you can become a depositor today. All you have to do is click make a deposit and we'll send the information on over to you. So Jim, thank you so much for coming on, man. It was an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.